I went into Hit 3 completely blind. I hadn't watched any of the promos or trailers. All I knew was that this is the third film in the Homicide Intervention Team, HIT universe, directed by Dr. Sailesh Kolhanu. Nani, who's been closely associated with this franchise as a producer in the previous two films, which I haven't watched, steps into the lead role this time around. Hi, I'm Kairam Vaashi and this is The Hollywood Reporter India. Hit 3 kicks off as a gritty crime investigation thriller, but slowly transforms into a full-blown mass action film, and the director has structured it exactly like that. The first half is all about SP Arjun Sarkar investigating a string of serial killings. The second is about Nani turning into a full-on action star, going on a calculated, blood-soaked rampage, all while wearing a white tuxedo which keeps getting redder by the minute. The first half is tight, engaging, and filled with intrigue. The second, though impressively staged in terms of action choreography, feels a bit monotonous and predictable. Mind you, this film is an installment from a cinematic universe, so you know what to expect in the climax and just before the end credits roll. Now let's put the flaws aside for a bit. Hit 3, like most good investigative thrillers, has a mix of character and plot. And a lot of that works really well, particularly in the first half. Some other bits probably read better on paper than they play out on screen. Our protagonist, Arjun Sarkar, is a 44-year-old cop with a distinct personality, and he's ready to sacrifice everything for the badge and the nation. He's got daddy issues, anger management problems, and pops pills for high blood pressure, possibly a byproduct of all that bottled up rage. He also listens to spiritual discourses, which adds a fun contrast to his otherwise fiery personality. He's an expert at his job, but carries a big bag of idiosyncrasies and quirks. The niggle in the left shoulder, his random shouting, his Hindi issues, his dating challenges, feeding a vulture, all these don't necessarily push the plot forward, but they add texture, flavor, and keep you hooked. The screenplay in the first half almost gets a 5 on 5. It smartly plants doubts about the protagonist's actions and rounds them off with expected yet satisfying reveals. The film is also peppered with medical and technical jargon around crime solving, which adds believability and keeps the investigation grounded. The switch to Bihar and then to Jaipur is slick and keeps the story moving forward. The action sequence involving a Maoist ambush is a definite high point, well written and executed. The background score, intensified with drums and horns, pulls you deeper into the film, and the Foley work too, really well done. The interval stretch is another strong moment. They milk it layer after layer, and just when I thought they were stretching it too far, they landed the break with a smart subversion. And now let's talk about where the film stumbles. For me, that was mostly in the second half. As it transitions into mass action mode, it starts leaning heavily on cliches. The antagonist is all talk and no bite. Srinidhi Shetty's character unfortunately gets saddled with a subplot that's unconvincing. There are other thematic threads the film tries to explore but doesn't commit to fully. There's a father-son-grandfather angle. There's a gender representation thread. There are North-South Hindu-Muslim angles too. These are all elements that are hinted at but not really developed. Add to that the hero's invincibility trope and some melodrama that doesn't quite land. Also, Arjun's character is shown to be good with kids, but then refuses a subordinate's request for leave to attend his daughter's school event. It's inconsistent, or perhaps they forgot to close that thread. Editing wise, while most of the film is sharply cut, there are some patches, especially in the second half, which feel abrupt, slightly rushed, and a bit confusing. Still, I wouldn't call any of these deal breakers. If anything, they are harmless add-ons. Perhaps, thanks to the presence of a heroine, we get two good Mickey J. Meyer songs. Thanu, sung by Anirudh, is especially nice, so I'll let the writing issues with that character slide a bit there. But what didn't work for me was the entire antagonist episode. I would have used a different word for this, but for the risk of a possible spoiler, I'll use the word gang. The gang, the Burmese palace, and everything that happens inside it. It was hard to take it seriously, borderline laughable even at places. Yes, the gore in the crime scenes worked, but the second half bloodbath feels like it's just there to showcase a never seen before version of Nani, and to be fair, he absolutely owns it. Along with its first half, the film's other major strength is Nani himself. He is completely dialed in, balancing the intensity of a seasoned performer with the swagger of a star who knows exactly what he's doing. You can't help but smile when he smiles for the first time, or feel a little choked up when he breaks down in the scene. And in his full blown Masi avatar, Nani gets a deliberate hero shot, a warrior in the foreground and a warrior's painting in the background. And then there's another shot that hints at his next film, The Paradise. That's for 2026. For now, if you could be happy with a gripping first half and an actor in top form, Hit 3 could be for you. For more such reviews, subscribe to The Hollywood Reporter India.